Hey church, wanted to give you just a real quick update on some things that are going on in terms of our regathering plan and what's been taking place this week to get ready for that. The next thing that you're going to see, if you haven't seen it already, is a survey that's been created. It's going to be appearing in your email boxes. And for family members that are not email savvy, we're mailing that out in the mail, so they'll be watching for that. And if you have family members that you know aren't really email people, you might give them a call and say, hey, be watching for that. We'd like you to fill this survey out. This survey is something that's going to be really helpful for us, and it's going to be the way that your insight is really meaningful and significant in letting us know kind of where you are. There's a couple things that you need to know about this survey. It's not a vote. We're not saying that whatever gets the most votes is what we're going to do, but it is a way for us to understand, where are you coming from? What are your concerns and worries? What are your needs and expectations? And so we really want that input. How did we arrive at this? Where did we get to this point? And let me tell you real quickly what's been going on this week. This has been a major point of emphasis in us gathering as best information we can and finding out where our people are. We've been reaching out to churches all around the state. We've been reaching out to other states, churches, and most notably, Jason Sater has spent a lot of time this week talking to churches in Washington State. Washington, of course, was on the cutting edge of this, the leading edge, and they're several weeks ahead of us. And we're calling out those churches, reaching out to them and saying, what did you do that was really good? What did you not do that you would have liked to have done? What would you teach us? What would you advise us as we're at this point? You've been where we are. Help us to do this as well as we possibly can. And so taking this information that we're gathering and compiling, along with where you all are as people, as members, and what your needs are individually and as families, we're putting together a plan moving forward that we think is going to be very beneficial for our congregation. We want to do what we believe is the very best, the very safest, and the most productive for everybody. And we recognize that that's going to be at a little bit different pace than maybe what we see around us. This week's a big transition as more and more businesses are starting to open, more and more people are going back to work, and even some churches in our community are starting to gather together once again. And so because of that, we want to really be careful and recognize that everybody is making the choices that they believe are best for their people. And that's what we want to do as well. It doesn't matter how we end up managing this. We're going to do it carefully. We're going to do it as best we can. But there will be many of you that will say, man, I wish we should have done this weeks ago. And we're so far behind the game. And we should have been farther along than we are. And there's going to be some of you that are going to say, we're going too fast. And we're moving into dangerous territory. And I don't feel comfortable with this. And I recognize that both of those extremes and somewhere in between is where most of us are going to be. The reality is that the one thing I know I can count on in a very uncertain time is that the MCOC family is a family. And we recognize that sometimes as family, we don't all see exactly eye to eye on something, but we love each other and we display the kind of unity that Christ wanted his church to show. And so in advance, I thank you for your input and your insight and your ideas. I thank you for your suggestions and your considerations. But even more than that, I thank you for your unity. I thank you for your patience with people who see things differently, and for the way that you continue to show grace and faithfulness in all things as you interact with each other and as we collectively as a body move forward in some very uncharted and uncertain times. I thank you very much for a few minutes of your time today, and please do get those surveys back to us as quickly as you can, because we look forward to meeting your needs as best we can. Have a great day.